68. The Faithless Widow. Mr. Niu was a Qiangxi man who traded in piece goods. He married a wife from the Chang family, by whom he had 2 children, a boy and a girl. When 33 years of age, he fell ill and died, his son Jung being then only 12 and his little girl 8 or 9. His wife did not remain faithful to his memory, but selling off all the property, pocketed the proceeds and married another man, leaving her 2 children almost in a state of destitution with their aunt, Niu's sister-in-law, an old lady of 60 who had lived with them previously and had now nowhere to seek a shelter. A few years later, this aunt died, and the family fortunes began to sink even lower than before. Jung, however, was now grown up and determined to carry on his father's trade, only he had no capital to start with. His sister marrying a rich trader named Mao, she begged her husband to lend Jung 10 ounces of silver, which he did, and Jung immediately started for Nanking. On the road, he fell in with some bandits who robbed him of all he had, and consequently he was unable to return. But one day, when he was at a pawn shop, he noticed that the master of the shop was wonderfully like his late father, and on going out and making inquiries, he found that this pawnbroker bore precisely the same names. In great astonishment, he forthwith proceeded to frequent the place with no other object than to watch this man, who, on the other hand, took no notice of Jung. And by the end of 3 days, having satisfied himself that he really saw his own father, and yet not daring to disclose his own identity, he made application through one of the assistants, on the score of being himself a Qiangxi man, to be employed in the shop. Accordingly, an indenture was drawn up, and when the master noticed Jung's name and place of residence, he started and asked him whence he came. With tears in his eyes, Jung addressed him by his father's name, and then the pawnbroker became lost in a deep reverie, by and by asking Jung how his mother was. Now Jung did not like to allude to his father's death, and turned the question by saying, "My father went away on business 6 years ago and never came back. My mother married again and left us, and had it not been for my aunt, our corpses would long ago have been cast out in the kennel." Then the pawnbroker was much moved and cried out, "I am your father," seizing his son's hand and leading him within to see his stepmother. This lady was about 22, and having no children of her own, was delighted with Jung, and prepared a banquet for him in the inner apartments. Mr. Niu himself was, however, somewhat melancholy and wished to return to his old home. But his wife, fearing that there would be no one to manage the business, persuaded him to remain. So he taught his son the trade, and in 3 months was able to leave it all to him. He then prepared for his journey, whereupon Jung informed his stepmother that his father was really dead, to which she replied in great consternation that she knew him only as a traitor to the place, and that 6 years previously he had married her, which proved conclusively that he couldn't be dead. He then recounted the whole story, which was a perfect mystery to both of them, and 24 hours afterwards in walked his father, leading a woman whose hair was all disheveled. Jung looked at her and saw that she was his own mother, and Niu took her by the ear and began to revile her, saying, "Why did you desert my children?" To which the wretched woman made no reply. He then bit her across the neck, at which she screamed to Jung for assistance, and he, not being able to bear the sight, stepped in between them. His father was more than ever enraged at this, when lo, Jung's mother had disappeared. While they were still lost in astonishment at this strange scene, Mr. Niu's color changed. In another moment, his empty clothes had dropped upon the ground, and he himself became a black vapor and also vanished from their sight. The stepmother and son were much overcome. They took Niu's clothes and buried them, and after that Jung continued his father's business and soon amassed great wealth. On returning to his native place, he found that his mother had actually died on the very day of the above occurrence, and that his father had been seen by the whole family.
Thanks for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel for more excellent content.